When I was a child, there was a tree at the edge of our village. No one knew how old it was. Its roots disappeared into the earth, like they had been holding the world together since the beginning of time. Every evening, after the sun softened into gold, I would run to that tree. A man would already be waiting beneath it. He wore simple white robes. His face was calm. His smile never asked questions. Sometimes we talked. Most days we simply watched the wind dance through the leaves. Silence never felt empty beside him. One afternoon, as I prepared to leave the village and see the world beyond the mountains, he placed a tiny seed into my palm. It was no larger than my fingernail. "If you ever become lost," he said gently, "come back." I laughed. "I won't get lost." He only smiled, the kind of smile that somehow knew more about me than I did. I tucked the seed into my pocket and walked toward the horizon, without looking back. When I was young, I believed the world would always remain the same. The streets where I played, the river where we skipped stones, the friends who swore we would never leave one another, the dreams that seemed too bright to ever fade. But life has its own seasons. One friend left in search of fortune. Another left to fight a war that no one remembered years later. Some married, some disappeared, some simply became strangers while standing only a few steps away. The laughter that once filled our village slowly faded into silence. If everything is changing, I thought, perhaps my purpose lies somewhere farther away. So I kept walking. I climbed mountains whose peaks disappeared into clouds. I crossed deserts where the wind erased every footprint before sunset. I wandered through cities so magnificent they glittered like stars brought down to earth. Every place promised happiness. Every place asked for something in return. Time, hope, pieces of myself. Years slipped away unnoticed. Kings built empires. Their grandchildren watched those same empires crumble into dust. Castles became ruins. Ruins disappeared beneath forests. Children became parents. Parents became memories. Languages changed. Borders changed. Even the constellations seemed unfamiliar. Sometimes, while resting beneath unfamiliar skies, my fingers would brush against the tiny seed still hidden inside my pocket. I would hold it for a moment, smile without understanding why, then quietly place it back and continue walking. I never planted it. I never threw it away. One day, I stopped beside a river. The water was still enough to become a mirror. An old man stared back at me. His hair had turned white. His shoulders had bent beneath invisible weight. His eyes carried roads that no map could contain. For a long time, I didn't recognize him. Then I realized he was me. Years had carved themselves into my bones. My walking staff, polished smooth by 70 years of desperate hope, slipped from my trembling fingers. It struck the ground with a hollow sound. For the first time, I didn't bother picking it up. I looked at my hands. They were nothing like the hands that had once reached toward the sky, believing the whole world belonged to them. These hands had built homes, buried friends, held dreams that slowly turned into dust. They had reached for crowns, for love, for meaning, and somehow returned empty. The wind passed over me as though I were just another forgotten stone lying beside the road. My voice barely escaped my lips. Perhaps there was never anything worth searching for. The silence answered. Then, without warning, a memory drifted through my heart. Golden leaves, warm sunlight, an ancient tree, a gentle smile, a tiny seed resting in my palm. If you ever become lost, come back. I laughed through tired tears. Surely he's gone too. After all, everything changes, doesn't it? Still, my feet turned toward home. The journey back felt strangely different. Not because the road had become shorter, but because I had stopped chasing the horizon. For the first time, I wasn't searching for somewhere new. I was returning. Days later, I reached the place where my village should have been. Nothing remained. The houses had vanished. The river had carved a different path through the valley. The fields had become forests. Even the mountains looked older. The world had erased every trace of the life I once knew. Everything except one tree. It still stood at the edge of the valley. Its branches stretched across the sky exactly as I remembered. Its roots still embraced the earth. The wind still whispered through its leaves. And beneath its shade sat the same man. No wrinkles, no age, no surprise. Only the same gentle smile. I knew you'd return. My knees gave way. I wanted to ask how. I wanted to ask why. Instead, I simply wept. He rose slowly, as though 70 years were nothing more than the passing of a single afternoon. He walked toward me. I opened my mouth to apologize, to explain why I had stayed away, to tell him about every mistake I had made. But the words never came. He simply embraced me. After a long while, he whispered, I never counted the years. I only waited. I stepped back and looked into his eyes. The world changed. People changed. I changed. But you never did. Why should I be surprised that people change? Then he smiled again. The same smile I remembered from my childhood. As long as you were walking, I trusted that one day you would remember the way home. At that moment, I finally understood. Every relationship I had ever known depended on who I became. Every promise had an ending. Every kingdom eventually fell. Every face surrendered to time. Everything changed except him and his love. Then a quiet truth settled into my heart. All those years, I believed I had been searching for him, but the truth was far more beautiful. He had never asked me to find him. He had only asked me to return. I reached into my pocket one last time. The tiny seed was still there, untouched, waiting. Just like him, with trembling hands, I knelt beneath the ancient tree and pressed the seed into the earth beside him. Neither of us spoke. We simply watched the soil cover what had been carried for a lifetime. He smiled. The wind carried the first leaf gently to the ground. I had carried the seed for 70 years. At last, I let it take root.